guys, so parts came in. You can see them over there, and we'll get to that in a second. But just to recap, we're going to be switching the rotors, the brake pads, and the lower control arms, because as you can see, these are all dry rotted and nasty looking, and this is what gives you that knocking sound when you're going over bumps or potholes like we have here in Jersey. All right, so let's take a look at these parts. They came in the other day, and oh, here's a little helpful hint that you guys can use if you're using one of these tools here to take the lug nuts off. What I do is I label what car it belongs to. For example, this is the Pilot, and this one on this side is the Kia. So that'll save you some time fumbling around. But let's take a look at these parts. So these are the lower control arms, and this is from, well, it's written in another language, so I'll have to post the link on the page. But either way, these are the lower control arms. So here we have it. Now this is what I want to show you guys. Ugh. Now this is what the rubber bushing should look like. Solid, no cracking, and that'll give you nice steady support when going over speed bumps. Here's the other one here, and then this is the lower spindle that goes and holds the rotor assembly and the brake is the front rotor assembly. All right, so that's that for these guys. I'm gonna put them aside, and then I'll show you and again, I got these off of Amazon, so I'll do a review on those and let you guys know how that is. Now these are the brakes and rotors from Detroit Axle, again purchased off of Amazon, so I'll let you guys know how that goes. So here we have Detroit Axle rotors and Detroit Axle brake pads. So I purchased some from the front for the front and for the rear, and I'll review those as well. But for now, I'm gonna disassemble the front suspension on the truck, and I'll do a side-by-side comparison so you guys can see the difference if there is any. So stay tuned. So we're here at like midpoint of taking this thing apart, and I wanted to highlight some useful tips. So I've unscrewed that section of the lower control arm, and as you can see, the strut, since it's not under load, it's extended as far as it could go, and it puts pressure on that bolt over there. so it makes it a little difficult to come out. I mean, you can bang it out, but we're trying to do this job as easy as possible. So what I've done is taking the jack that comes with the car, I just put a piece of wood under these two studs, and I'm extending the jack so that it puts load on the strut, and then that way it'll make it easier to extract that bolt. And also I'll show you how to loosen up the bolt that's underneath here on the spindle. Other useful hints is, or useful tips, is to put tie wraps to the brake caliper and let it hang so that you're not putting stress on these brake hoses over here. As well as using a piece of wood under the jack stands so that the jack stand doesn't cut into your driveway and leave marks in your driveway. So okay, so now I'm going to show you how to loosen up that bolt. So we'll have to shoot from this end. So since the strut is compressed and this wants to shoot down, if you bang it in this area here, sometimes it'll help and loosen things up and it'll pop out. But if that doesn't work, they do sell certain tools like this one. It comes with different forks, different fork sizes, so depending on what kind of ball joints you have. And then you could attach it to an air gun, or you could put this kind of end on it where you could hit it with a hammer. So I'm going to use this guy and you'll see how easy this comes out. And there you have it. So if I raise this jack a little bit more, it'll give us a little more room. And there it is. You can now remove the lower control arm. So here we have them side by side. As you can see, as I was removing this guy, it exploded and the grease came out. But that's a good look of what's in there. Here's the new one, along with its nut. And there's a pin that you put through there so the nut doesn't back out. But yeah, looks like it's about the same size. So everything should go back nicely. And again, I'll let you guys know how things work out. So we have the lower control arm installed, as you can see there. I've gone ahead and put the new rotor in. Again, this rotor is from Detroit Axle. Fit looks good. I put the caliper bracket holder on there. Now, something that I wanted to mention to you guys which I've done in previous videos, but in case you haven't seen them, I'll go ahead and take the old brake pad and place it here, and then I have this C-clamp, and I'll compress the caliper to make it 1,000 times easier when I install the new brakes. Now these are the brakes from Detroit Axle. These are the old ones, these are the new ones. So you could see how much worn down they were. And for those of you that are not aware, this little metal bracket here, when you waste the pad and you start getting close to that metal bracket will start scratching the rotor, and that's when you hear the brake squeaking, which lets you know that it's time to change the brakes. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and assemble these guys, and Detroit Axle also provides new hardware for your brakes. These are the old ones here. Let's see if I could pop them out. And you know, these are all rusted and corroded, but Detroit Axle will provide you new ones along with other hardware and the grease that you put on the back of the brake pad. So I will keep you guys posted as to how these brakes work. I'm happy with the ones I bought for the Kia, but I'll let you guys know how this one works as I drive it around. So here you have it, guys, the new lower control arm. Looks very nice. You got the rotors, cross-drilled rotors, and you got the new brake pads. So thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the review on these rotors and lower control arms, as well as the brake pads. Now I just have to do the other side and do the rear. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. If I do come across anything that I feel that you guys should know, I will keep you all posted. But thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in, and as always, peace.